Back in the summer of 2019, I was competing at a computer Olympiad. This is artificial intelligence programming in Macau. And I had a miserable time there because Macau is not my kind of destination. Macau is a gambling mecca and not my type. And also I had difficulty finding suitable food there. But one night while I was in Macau, I had a dream. And in the dream, I was at another conference in another part of the world, and my ex-girlfriend was there. My ex-girlfriend also studied computer science. I don't think she's involved in the Computer Olympiad, though. But in the dream, she and her husband were there. She isn't actually married in real life, but in my dream, she was there with her husband. We were on our way into the building, and I was holding the elevator door for the two of them. And my ex-girlfriend looked at her husband and said, "Don't get in the elevator with this guy. He has a disease." Oh, that's what she said to him. And when she said it, I woke up shaking and sweating. And at the time, I had major binge eating problems, which is what made my trip to Macau miserable in the first place. So after I woke up from the dream, I resolved to do something about my eating disorder problems. And so in 2020, I made a resolution to normalize my relationship with food. And how ironic that the reason she didn't want to get in the elevator with me was because of a disease. And given how 2020 turned out, it makes me nervous every time I have a bad dream. I have a lot of dreams that end up happening in real life one way or another. Sometimes not exactly to the T. But I first noticed this when I was only 8 years old, actually. One time I had dreamt one night that my family and we were on the road, and all of us needed to use the bathroom really badly. Now, this was back in the day when Kmart was big. I don't think we had Walmart yet, at least not in the town I was living in. And we pulled the car into the Kmart, and we all raced in to use the bathroom. And I woke up. I think I even wet my pants. That's probably why I dreamt about going to the bathroom. So I woke up. Now, the following Saturday, we were on the road doing something, and we needed to go to the bathroom. And I looked around, and I see, well, there's Kmart over there. And as soon as I said it, I realized, really, I dreamt that we went there. And my parents didn't believe me when I said, I dreamt this a few nights ago. But they didn't believe me. And so from that point on, I thought that's what dreams are for. They're for predicting the future. When I was 13 years old, I loved to collect coins. Well, I still do, but at the time I was going to the bank and getting rolls of coins to search. I very rarely do that now. Well, certainly not during the pandemic, but I have better things to do with my time now. But so one time I dreamt that I went to the bank and got several rolls of $50, and all of them were silver. And what was really funny was in the dream, the bank that I went to was not a very familiar bank. And 2 weeks later, my mom had an appointment somewhere, a doctor's office or something. And while she was at the doctor's office, I walked across the street where there was a bank that I've never been to. And as soon as I walked into the lobby, I'm like, this is the bank that was in my dream. And I went to get, I think, 3 rolls of $50. And sure enough, almost all of the coins are silver, if I remember correctly. Where else have I dreamt the future before? Oh, one time I dreamt that somebody had spilled some toxic chemical at the office I was working at, and I was really nervous about going into the building. I was waiting for them to finally clean up the building. I was having to work remotely or something like that. Now, a couple days later, somebody's replacing a fluorescent light bulb, and they break the light bulb. And I was able to run out of there holding my breath, so that was good. I was prepped for it because I had dreamt it just 2 days earlier. So I ran out of the building. And fortunately, that dissipates fast. And I checked back, and they had cleaned it up. So that was good. I've dreamt. I dreamt that earlier this year, I think back in March or April, I dreamt that the price of silver had gone to like negative $3 an ounce. And I had gone to a coin dealer, and he said, just take all my silver, because later on they're going to audit us and I'm going to have to pay to get rid of all this silver. And I'm thinking, how am I going to hide all this silver before I have to pay for negative $3 an ounce? And then it dawned on me. I was living in Seattle at the time. I have a favorite vantage point for viewing the night sky. There's this big gorge over there, and I was going to drive there and dump all the silver there and wait for things to blow over and for silver to go back to the normal $20, $30 an ounce. So I loaded all the silver into my car, but then I realized my car wasn't going to go anywhere because there were tons and tons of silver. So I woke up from that and I went to check to see what the price of silver really was. It was low at the time. I did buy a lot at the beginning of the pandemic, but it was not negative. But then a few days later, the price of oil went negative. Unfortunately, I can't think of a way to actually buy oil for negative, and it's not negative anymore now. So that it makes me really concerned when I have bad dreams, because all of my dreams have eventually rhymed. Right? It was the wrong commodity, it was the wrong chemical that was spilled, it was the wrong person wanting to social distance from me, but it was a good reason that I needed to clean up my eating habits, and I really did have a disease, not an infectious disease, but a disease of addiction, right? All my dreams eventually rhyme in one way or another, and I continue to have nightmares about problems with eating disorders. I dream that I'm 40 years old and I'm all alone because all I want to do is binge eat. Right? I still have dreams that I've relapsed into my old eating ways. I lost a job over binge eating problems. I lost 2 girlfriends over it. I've made my life very miserable over eating addictions. Like when I was in Macau, when I should be enjoying the vacation, I'm thinking, oh my God, I can't wait to go home to get to my favorite foods, or I walk out of the conference room to go look for my favorite foods. I did that a lot. I gotta confess, I'm still not clean. But I can't think of a dream I've ever had that has not eventually at least rhymed with real life. And so I take my dreams very, very seriously. My latest one was, one day I dreamt that because I had heard on the news that the reason bats don't get very sick is because they fly, and when mammals fly, they produce antibodies of some sort. And so we were all in this open field with huge currents of air blowing with these big fans and flapping our wings to fly. And then they would take blood from us after we had flown in order to inject it into other people. And not long after that, sure enough, they're injecting people, right? So I guess it was going to happen eventually. But the fact that my dream kind of coincided with the news. Anyway, maybe I'm just picking up signals from around me, right? The fact that I had eating disorder problems and the fact that people were shunning me over it, I probably was picking that up subconsciously, right? I didn't realize it in my waking hours, but when I went to sleep, I realized, oh my God, I have a big problem. That's probably why I dreamt it, right? There's another time. When I was arriving at Macau Airport, where's my passport? Because I want to show what they stamp on it. I can look it up. But when I arrived at Macau Airport and customs agents scanned my airport, it had Macau SAR written on it. And when I saw it, let me see if I can find that stamp. Macau Special Administrative Region. I keep forgetting what that stands for. So he stamped my passport, Macau SAR. I can't find what that stamp looks like. And when I saw it, I thought about SARS. It had been many years since I had heard about SARS. SARS was in 2003, and I traveled to Macau in 2019. And I thought that it was a warning that SARS had come back. And I didn't want to embarrass myself, so I asked some other people who were flying with me. They were Americans. What does SAR stand for? And the guy explained to me it was Special Administrative Region. And I thought, oh, thank God. And he asked me what happened. I said, I thought SARS had come back and this was like a warning for us. And he laughed at me for saying that. And sure enough, 9 months later, SARS comes back. So I don't know why. I'm very good at picking up signals around me, right? So I get very nervous when I have a bad dream. Thanks for watching.